Hey everyone! Today, we are going on an incredible journey to trace the story of a tool that has totally reshaped our world, the computer. From ancient calculators all the way to the AI-powered classrooms of the future, let's dive into how this one machine came to define our modern age. So, to really understand the computer you're using right now, we have to start here. We have to go way, way back to one of the very first attempts humanity ever made to process information. The abacus. I know, it looks super simple, right? But this ancient tool represents a core human desire that is thousands of years old, our need to calculate, to organize things, and just to make sense of the world around us. It's like the very first physical proof of our drive to compute. And that ancient need, well, it has led us, through one incredible step after another, to this. The device you're probably watching this on right now, your phone or laptop, is more powerful than the giant, room-sized computers that helped send people to the moon. The journey from that abacus to this, well, it's one of the greatest stories of innovation ever told. So, what is a computer, really? When you strip everything else away, it's a machine designed to process data. It takes in information, it follows a list of instructions, and it gives us back a useful result. You could say it's our most powerful tool for wrangling information. All right, let's start that journey. And it really is a high-speed one. The story of the modern computer is all about making things smaller, faster, and way, way more powerful in a surprisingly short amount of time. This timeline tells an absolutely incredible story of shrinking technology. We started back in the 40s with computers that were literally the size of a room, powered by these big, fragile vacuum tubes. Then the transistor came along, which made them smaller and a lot more reliable. But the real game changer was the microprocessor in the 70s. That was an entire computer brain on one tiny little chip. That single invention is what made personal computers possible, and it's what put all this amazing power on our desks and eventually right into our pockets. So we've seen the history, now let's pop the hood and take a peek inside the machines that we use every single day. You know, the easiest way to understand a computer is to think of it in two halves. First, there's the hardware. That's the body. It's all the physical stuff you can actually touch. Then you've got the software. That's the mind. These are the invisible instructions that tell the body what to do. And here's the thing. One is pretty much useless without the other. And here's what all those physical parts look like working together. The motherboard, that big board in the middle, it acts kind of like a nervous system. It connects every single component, letting them all talk to each other so they can work as one single machine. Let's make this really practical. When you open an app, the CPU, the brain, gets to work. The RAM acts as its short-term memory, holding that app open for you. When you save your work, it moves over to storage. That's your long-term memory. And this whole time, you're using input devices like your mouse to give it commands, and you're seeing results on output devices like your monitor. Now, let's talk about the mind, the software. This is what brings all that physical hardware to life. The foundation is the operating system, or OS. Think Windows or Mac OS. It's the boss program that manages everything. Then, sitting on top of that, are your applications, the tools like your web browser that actually let you get stuff done. Okay, so we have this incredibly powerful tool, this combination of hardware and software. Now, let's look at one of the most exciting ways we're using it today, to completely reshape how we all learn. And this brings us to e-learning. It's really just the idea of using all this amazing technology to deliver education digitally. It effectively breaks down the four walls of the traditional classroom. The big goal here is to make learning available to anyone, anywhere, anytime, and at a pace that actually works for you. Generally, e-learning comes in two main flavors. You've got synchronous learning. That's just a fancy word for live, like a virtual class on Zoom. It's awesome for getting feedback right away. Then there's asynchronous learning, which is on demand. You learn on your own schedule. It's really just a trade-off between having that real-time interaction versus having total flexibility. And of course, people are mixing and matching these ideas. Blended learning combines online stuff with traditional face-to-face classes. And then there's mobile learning, or M-learning, which puts the classroom right in your pocket with incredible apps like Duolingo. You can literally learn a new language while you're waiting for the bus. So what does the modern student's digital toolkit actually look like? What are the pieces that make all of this possible? You can think of it like building a digital school. The Learning Management System, or LMS, that's like the main building. It's the central hub for all the courses. Video conferencing tools, those are the virtual classrooms where the live teaching happens. And inside those classrooms, you have interactive tools and games like Kahoot that make learning active and the benefits here are just huge. All of a sudden, you can get a world-class education from anywhere on the planet. It's often cheaper, too. But the really crucial part for the learner is the personalization. You get to control the pace. If you don't understand something, you just rewind and watch it again. The learning actually adapts to you instead of the other way around. Of course, this whole shift isn't without its challenges. The lack of face-to-face time can be tough, and the digital divide, where not everyone has the same access to tech, is a very real problem. The key, though, is that for every single problem, new and clever solutions are popping up, from blended learning models that bring back that in-person contact to fun gamification tools that keep students motivated. And this really just sums it all up perfectly. We took this incredible machine, the computer, and we aimed it at the age-old challenge of education. And what happened? A total transformation. It's opened up doors for millions of people that were completely closed before. Which brings us to a final thought. We've gone from counting with beads to creating personalized global classrooms. The computer is, you could argue, the most powerful problem-solving tool humanity has ever invented. So the question is, what's next? What other grand challenge are we going to solve with this incredible technology?